IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and today in the hot seat we have Shubhadeep. Shubhadeep says, lazy afternoons. I can't do anything productive during the afternoon. I feel drowsy and sleepy. If I start to read a book or watch a movie, I stop both after a few minutes as we have our lunch at 1 p.m. There is a hell lot of time passing by simply doing nothing till 6 p.m. In the afternoons, I can't go out for a walk as summers in Kolkata are very scary. However, I feel guilty of letting time pass. How could I use my afternoons and how could I get rid of these afternoon slumps? Shubhadeep, this is a fantastic question because this is not only about days when you're at home and you feel lazy in the afternoons. It's actually even people who are at work have very similar complaints. And the reason for having this complaint is because of the kind of food that we eat, believe it or not. Very often we eat foods that are extremely high in carbohydrates like rice, your rotis, etc., potatoes. All of these spike our blood sugar level. That means that when we eat them, our blood sugar goes through the roof. And after that, it comes a crash. Now, when our blood sugar crashes, what happens is that we start feeling sleepy because we've lost our energy. In fact, rice has a chemical called tryptophan, which actually makes us fall asleep. So, very often, the kind of food that we eat leads to this kind of sleep that we have. So, understand that this is not necessarily something to do with you and your personality. It is about the kind of habits and the kind of lifestyle that you're living. One thing that I do is I don't have high carbohydrate foods for lunch. In fact, I don't have them for dinner either, but I especially don't have them for lunch, especially because I know that my day after, meaning what happens after that lunch, is going to be very, very bad. I'm going to feel sleepy. I'm not going to be productive. I'm not going to get any work done. So I know that that is what is going to happen. Another way of doing this is to preset meetings, engagements, or interesting things that you want to do. So during the lockdown, when we were all stuck at home, what used to happen was after lunch, again, like you, I used to feel sleepy and I would want to go to sleep. But instead, what I did was I set up all my meetings with either people who are looking at different business opportunities, etc., from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock. And after that, 4 o'clock, I had my last coffee. So again, I was feeling full of excitement and energy. So this way, what you do is you can plan what are exciting things that you can do in the afternoon. Now, watching TV, reading a book are not exciting things as much as we might want to think so. They're not exciting. They, in fact, pull you down. They make you feel sleepy. Talking to people, meeting people, going to the gym, those are things that will, in fact, increase your energy throughout. And you're absolutely right. Wasting time from 1 o'clock to 6 p.m. is absolutely useless. You might as well do something that is productive. Now, don't try doing an online course at that time because that is going to be just as boring and sleepy as reading a book or watching TV. In fact, it's a mixture of both. So don't do such things. Get out of the house, meet people, even if it's going to a mall, sit in a coffee shop at a mall. You can read your book at a coffee shop there. These kinds of things will help you get over that slump. And like I said, start off by focusing on what is the kind of food that you're eating. Are you eating too much food that's making you sleepy? Are you eating too many carbohydrates that's making you sleepy? And like you said, you're from Kolkata, so I'm sure rice is a part of your lunch because I know that is what my finance consultant does and he's from Calcutta. So think about the ways in which you can sort out your food and then create interesting things to do in the afternoon and turn those things into a habit. Like I said, make sure that you're meeting people that are interesting and make that into a habit. Shubhadeep, the last thing I want to say is don't call yourself lazy. Okay? You can have a lazy afternoon, like you said in your message, but don't call yourself lazy because you are not lazy. It's just that either your body is not working with you or you haven't found something to be excited about. If you find something to be excited about, laziness goes out the window. In fact, we did a fantastic podcast on never call yourself lazy. Listen to that so that you never get trapped in this, I am lazy, I'm not wasting time, I'm good for nothing. Don't fall into that trap. All right. Now, if you want to be featured in the next Hot Seat episode, check out the link below in the show description. Click on it. Ask me your question. Give me as many juicy details as possible so I can better help answer it. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And remember, awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.
Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you.
and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments, and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello everyone, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Think Fast, Suchita and Amit Doshi discuss India's creator economy and the Zomato-Blinkit merger. On Cyrus Says Ish, Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Ayushi, Shriram, Antariksh and Abbas discuss the arrest of journalist Mohammad Zubair. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk decode Bihar's unemployment crisis. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurabh analyze what makes social media powerful. And on Marathi Khidkitun, the Deshmukhs list poems and songs inspired by Twilight. We've got some exciting news for you. IVM Podcasts has just launched its merch, and our first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcasts website and click on the Shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platforms that you're listening on. And you can also check us out on YouTube. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Capgemini, Intel vPro, and Intel. Future Bana Wonderful with Intel-powered laptops.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.